In the second movie of working with styles, we have 3 styles built: a stroke style, a fill style, and a combo where we've got fill and stroke. If you have access to the working files and would like to start with this file, you can open up style2.anime and begin right where I am. So we've got our styles applied to the shapes now. Let's go ahead and see how these work or do not work, or how we can apply them to shapes as we begin working. The first style we created was the soft stroke style right here. And if we come over to this shape, I can select that, and you can see that the actual stroke color on that shape is red, but it's presenting as black. Why is that? Because we had that tint option available on that particular style. With this item selected right here, you'll notice that these styles goes away right here. The style palette has converted to the same one that we've used before, where you can go ahead and dynamically change the colors right here. We're not affecting the style. However, what I want to do is go ahead and convert this so that it picks up the tint we designated with that style. So let me come down to soft stroke, and we can see that the black is enabled right here. If I turn this off, we'll see our stroke dynamically update right here. So this is one of those options that if you enable it, it will force the color that's here. If it's disabled, it will pick up whatever color is on the stroke, and this brush item allows for tinted strokes to be applied. When we come to our center item right here, I'll click it. Notice again that we're no longer working in a style, we're working with a live item. If I turn off stroke right here, we'll see that happen. I do a quick render, and we see things showing just as we would think they might. Okay. And then finally our last style. That's pretty self-explanatory there as well. Well, we can integrate and combine these right now. Let me come back and select this middle style right here. I can turn on stroke. I can say, look, I want a stroke that's going to be 30 wide, and accept that. And we wind up with this big black stroke right here. But wait a second, what's going on here? Why are we getting this stroke that's showing up going around the edge right here? Well, let's see if we can investigate that and find out. Let's come down to our styles, texture fill. Look, there's a brush sitting in here. I didn't delete the brush, and it picked up the last item that I had, which happened to be the building of this style. So what I can do is simply click on this, choose none, OK, and now we've got a heavy outline. This is where building styles becomes just a little bit confusing, or can. It's a good idea many times to go ahead and between each style build, hit the reset button so everything goes back to normal, because we've got this item picking up right now. You'll notice also that the width in the style that was left here is set to 20, but it's not engaged, so it's actually picking up the 30 that we designated when the shape was selected itself. So what happens then? Can I change the fill to accommodate this stroke right here? And the answer is yes. I can apply 2 styles. I've got the texture fill selected, and I can also choose to go ahead and apply the soft stroke to this shape as well. With that applied, well, then we get the black item selected right here because the stroke was black, and that was one of the features we enabled with this one. So if I happen to change this, instead do something like blue, now we've got a blue stroke. So we combined 2 styles, the texture fill style and the soft stroke style as well. If we come over to this, we can go ahead and obviously change the presets in that style. If we come to, let's go to the fill and stroke here and say, you know what, I like that shaded effect, but let's add another effect to this style. In this case, how about a crayon look? Modal dialog box pops up. We can go ahead and set these options. I'll accept the default. Now, this is one of those render time effects that we don't see dynamically update like we do with the shaded. This is kind of the inconsistency in the program that allows you to sometimes lose track of exactly what's been applied to what. So, okay, well, I've got this applied here. If I do a quick test render, we'll see now we get the scribbly edges. And now let's see how we can integrate styles with some of the dynamic features of the items themselves. So we've got a style, in this case the stroke style on the left, but it's not modifying other features I can apply to this. So on the fill side, if I really wanted to apply a gradient here, I could, and it would show up on the inside. If I wanted to, on the stroke side, apply an effect like, for example, a drop shadow, I could also do that. Now that is a render time effect. If I go ahead and do a preview render again, we'll see that this effect is applied at render, but it's not changing the stroke at all. So you still have this wealth of ability to customize on a per shape basis special effects you apply. But across multiple objects, you can go ahead and have a consistency of stroke presentation if you select a consistency of stroke color, all those items. So it's important to know that any one of these can be modified, or it can have certain parameters just locked into it so that it's the same for all shapes on your animation.